Misunderstood and judged. Despite what you may have heard, HIV remains an epidemic. With 33 years of research, there is still no cure. In part one of a two-part series, SNN's Nicole Somavilla talks to some of our neighbors affected.
Have you planned your funeral yet?
Imagine being asked that at age 28. That's what doctors asked Valerie Wojciechowicz 30 years ago when they told her she had HIV, and she's not alone. Florida is the #1 state for newly diagnosed cases of HIV. Richard Carlisle of Sarasota's Community AIDS Network says it's an epidemic. The main reasons for the spread: lack of education and stigma.
It comes out in two groups that the numbers have significantly increased.
The first group, 13 to 25-year-olds.
Youth, they don't wear condoms and they are spreading the disease rapidly, in particular in some of the hot spots like Miami-Dade, unfortunately Broward County, Fort Lauderdale.
The second group, the over 55 population.
Happens a lot in nursing homes, believe it or not, but people are not wearing condoms because, you know, nobody can get pregnant anymore, and so they don't even think about it.
Wojciechowicz didn't talk about her diagnosis for 10 years. Now she shares her story to educate others and help people cope with the disease.
I've had people look me right in the eye and tell me AIDS is God's way of weeding out the population. Then he followed it up with, those people deserve to die.
Those are the comments that keep people from getting help, including one patient speaking exclusively with SNN for the first time, but still asking to remain anonymous.
I was 8 months pregnant when I was diagnosed.
With 2 teenage children, she had one question.
How long am I gonna live?
She got HIV from her husband.
I don't know how he contracted it, but I would say it was multiple sex partners and drug use.
Did her husband know he was carrying HIV?
He tells me he did not.
That's the case for many. Wojciechowicz says some patients keep their diagnosis from their spouse. And 25 years later, this anonymous woman is still alive, but still keeps her diagnosis from her children for fear of judgment.
Typically, either you would acquire it sexually or by sharing needles. So right off the bat, people make a decision about my sex life or my drug use, and the message hasn't really gotten out to the public that all it takes is one partner, one time.
The truth of the matter, everyone has sex. Wojciechowicz says you shouldn't judge because you could be next. Reporting in Sarasota, Nicole Somavilla, SNN, the Suncoast News Network.
Nicole, thank you. Although it's a misunderstood and judged disease spreading all across the nation, and especially here in Florida, there is hope. You can catch a glimpse of that hope during the second part of this series on Tuesday.